One betrayed him with a kiss. The other surrendered to the cup. Which will you choose? Good morning. Welcome back to Grace in the Journey. I wanted to pick up right here because we're going to combine days 3 and 4 so we can catch up and be on day 5 tomorrow. Not that we missed anything, but just because I started the series on Monday instead of Sunday with Palm Sunday. So this is where the story turns. Not with a crowd, not with a celebration, but with a kiss. A betrayal when someone close. Someone who walked with him, who knew him. And then a garden. A place of pressure, a place of surrender. A place where Jesus would face the weight of what was coming. Because before the cross, there was a decision. Will I walk away or will I surrender? And if we're honest, that's a question we all have to answer. We've walked through the praise. We've allowed God to begin overturning things in our hearts. And now, we arrive at one of the most painful parts of this journey. It started with a kiss. Judas, one of the 12, one who walked with Jesus, one who saw the miracles, heard the teaching, was close, physically, but not surrendered spiritually. And for 30 pieces of silver, he betrays him. Okay, now let's not rush past that part there for just a moment. Because betrayal doesn't usually come from a distance. It comes from closeness. From someone who knew you, someone who walked with you. And yet Jesus knew. He knew exactly what Judas would do. And still he sat at the table with him. Still he loved him. Still he didn't stop the process. And that's hard for us to understand. Because if we knew betrayal was coming, we'd avoid it. We'd shut it down. We'd protect ourselves. But Jesus, he stayed. And maybe today someone listening knows that kind of pain. The pain of being hurt by someone close. The confusion of how could they? The weight of betrayal that doesn't make sense. And if that's you, I want you to hear me on this. Jesus understands that pain. Not from a distance, but from experience. But the story doesn't stop with the kiss. Because after the betrayal, Jesus goes to the garden, Gethsemane, the place of pressing, the place of crushing. And here we see a side of Jesus that is raw and it's real. He falls to his knees and he prays, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. All right, can we pause right there? Because this is powerful. Jesus, the Son of God, he felt the weight. He felt the sorrow, the heaviness, the reality of what was coming. And he was honest about it. Sometimes we think faith, we don't feel anything. That we're always strong, always steady. But Jesus shows us something different, doesn't he? You can feel the weight and still choose surrender. Because he doesn't stop at let this cup pass. He continues, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. That right there, that is surrender. Not when it's easy, not when it makes sense, but when it costs everything. And here's what ties these two moments together. The kiss and the cup. One chose his own will and walked away. The other chose the Father's will and stayed. Judas followed Jesus until it no longer benefited him. Jesus followed the Father even when it cost him everything. And that brings us to a question that we cannot ignore. What do we do when following God gets hard? When it doesn't make sense? When it hurts? When it costs more than we expected? Do we pull back? Do we compromise? Do we quietly walk away in our hearts? Or do we go to the garden and surrender? Because here's the truth. Every one of us will face a Gethsemane moment, a place where we have to decide, my will or his. And it won't always feel good. It may feel like pressure, like stretching, or even breaking. But we have to remember this, the crushing. Remember, let's go back. It produces the oil. Gethsemane literally means oil press. And what was happening in that moment? It was preparation. Preparation for the cross, preparation for redemption, preparation for resurrection. So if you're feeling pressed right now, if life feels heavy, if you're in a moment where surrender is hard, you're not alone. You're not being punished. You may be in a place where God is preparing something deeper. So today, don't run from the garden. Don't avoid it. Lean into it. Because what looks like the hardest moment, it may be the very place where purpose is formed. Pray this prayer with me in your hearts right now. Lord, in the moments where life feels heavy, oh Father, where surrender feels hard, help us to trust you, Father. To know that when we don't understand, when it hurts, when it costs more than we expected, give us the strength to say, not my will, but yours. Heal the places in us that would have been betrayed or led to betrayal. Because, Father, you know our hearts. God, teach us to sit still with you. Father, give us the strength to say, not my will, but yours, no matter the cost. We love you today, Father. And we just say thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. So like I said, when life feels heavy, when surrender feels hard, don't run from the garden. Because what feels like that pressure, it's maybe the preparation. And if you can stay, if you can trust him there, you're one step closer to what's coming next. I'll see you tomorrow as we continue the journey. God bless you.